Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. My name is Ross Benjamin of RBWins.com, and it's Friday, December the 9th, and we got a college basketball show for you today. And one of the best college basketball handicappers in the country joins us, Mr. Sean Higgs from PicksandParlays.net. Sean, how are you?
Pretty good. Headed into, we got a little one college football game, a lot of NFL, and then bowl season. But thank goodness, college hoops. I love college hoops. So
I know you do. I do as well. And boy, oh boy, a volume handicapper like yourself certainly has to be licking your chops because these Saturday cards are enormous in college basketball. Probably more. Well, I'm not saying probably. I know they're going to be even more plentiful after this week because right now the kids are on exams.
Yep.
It's really maybe half or three quarters of the amount of games we'll normally see on a Saturday, but still comparatively, it's still a lot compared to the rest of the week. So
yeah, what do we got? We probably got about 80 or 90 games as opposed to about 140.
Yeah,
I do kind of, as much as I love early college hoops like November, you kind of jump on games December. I enjoy December basketball because it's, you have games like Thursday and Friday where there's only a handful of games. And you know what?
Yeah.
I don't have to pull the trigger at these games. Nothing really jumps out at me. I have to play them. You have kind of built-in days off if you don't like something. Number one rule, folks, you don't have to bet it just because it's on. Just because there's 5 games doesn't mean you got to find one to bet. If you don't like it, I'm like Ross. You look at something.
Sometimes,
right off the bat if you like something or not before you dig into it. You kind of look at the numbers and just check them off as you go.
Yeah.
You're not. You go back and you start rehashing. You're just going to lose. Use your gut. That's what it's there for. You have your numbers for a reason. You can bypass things. It's okay, folks.
Yeah. You don't have to make a play just because there's a game that day or you can't come up with anything, so you're going to force something. That's where you should depend on guys like us. And I could tell you, there's nothing wrong with taking a pass on a day, folks.
Yeah.
Rather than forcing a game, sometimes a pass is like a win because you don't like anything that sticks out to you, and you're not trying to force something or jam something down somebody's throat or force a bet with your odds maker or bookmaker, whatever the case may be. So,
and I tell people when I do my show, Ross, I'm like, you know what? You think you kind of like it? Write it down because you'll remember. Oh, I liked it and it won. You're not going to remember the 27 that lost for you.
No.
One win, you'll remember that one. I should have did it. Yeah, you forget that. The 4 other games are like all lost. So instead of going 1-4, you got a 1-0 stuck in your head. So
yeah, I mean, and we always remember the ones we lose down at the wire, and we don't remember the ones we win like that. And I'll stick to it when I say this: the games that are won decisively, you have to win more of those than the games you lose decisively. The ones that that can go either way and are decided in the last couple seconds, you need a little bit of luck. And you got to remember that I would tell you over the course of time that half of those games are going to go your way and the other half are going to go against you. So it's hand in hand what you're professing, in terms of you don't remember the ones that you said, oh, I would have won, but you don't remember the ones where you said, man, I'm glad I didn't play this game because I would have lost, So
exactly.
Anyway, all right. So let's get right to it, Sean. We're going to be discussing Saturday college basketball, and it's going to be late night games. As a matter of fact, my game, BYU and Creighton, goes at 12 o'clock midnight, and you're on the NC State and Miami game.
Yes.
What's the start time on that again? I didn't write it down.
No, mine's an early game. I got a 2 o'clock. We got some day action here.
All right. So I stand corrected. One late game, one early game. And we're going to start with you. NC State at Miami, an ACC battle. Pretty good teams from the ACC and NC State and Miami. And take it away, my friend.
Yeah, so nice little matchup here, and I kind of don't really look at the record. You see 9-1, 8-2. You have some out of conference stuff, or you get some little fluff in here, things like that. NC State was last place last year in the ACC. Bad team, 4-16. Obviously improved a little bit here, getting some nice wins, and I actually kind of like them here. I like the 5 points. Their starting center's out. They lost him. He was contributing at 9 points, 5-6 rebounds. So obviously it's kind of a big loss. But his replacement, the guy who was coming off the bench for him, was the Big South Player of the Year last year over in Burns. He's averaging 7.5 points. So it's not too bad of a drop off, right? So it's not like you're going, oh my goodness, we have nobody. Make fun of the smaller conferences all you want. These guys, I love betting on these conferences anyway.
Yeah.
And now you got a guy coming in to step up here. So I don't really think
it's averaging what, 7 points.
7 points, 4 boards
in limited playing time.
Yes.
Probably.
So maybe lose a little depth. I still don't mind. Yeah. And listen, if we had the other guy, I'd be really all in on this game. I still like it. So most likely probably still going to bet this game. Cornell dropped 105 on Miami last game. 107, 105. You're giving up 100 points to the Ivy? I don't care what Ivy team it is. That is, we don't see Ivy putting up 80, 70, 80, 90 points.
I had to look at that twice and make sure it didn't go triple overtime or something.
Yeah, that, is a kind of a red flag to me as a Kane guy. I got the Kane thing hanging. I like Miami. That to me is a little worrisome. Now, maybe they're looking ahead. That is some terrible defense there. I'm gonna take the points and thinking you're gonna get some kind of shootout like that. And I have a team that you beat last year, looking for a little revenge, looking to build on this, that they're for real this year. Give me the points here with the Wolfpack.
All right, so NC State plus the 5 at Miami. Keep this in mind, folks. We're currently recording at 3:22 p.m. Eastern time on Friday. These games don't go for another 24 hours or more, and these lines are subject to change depending on when you view the video. We always grade them on the line that we give you. Sometimes that works for us. Sometimes it works against us. It's just the way it is. But keep that in mind, because the last thing I want to hear from you guys tomorrow is somebody saying, you gave us NC State plus 5. They're only plus 2.5 now. Might be, it could happen. I mean, I could
go down to 3. It could go up to 7. You don't know what's going to happen a day ahead of time.
Exactly. So just keep that in mind.
Yes.
Going forward. So I'm going to take a look at the BYU and Creighton game. That goes at midnight Eastern time. I guess you could call it Sunday morning, but late Saturday night, whatever way you want to term it. One of the last games on the board, if not the last game. And there was no line at the time that I needed to record the video and come up with a line for this game. So I, as always, trusty KenPom I go by, because they've been so accurate over the last couple of years when I've been following them, Sean. And I think you've been following them a lot more than that. You could testify to that. As a matter of fact, they have the NC State game at 5, and you're seeing it at 5 at one of the sports books as well.
Yep. So they just take those numbers and run with them most of the time. Maybe they'll move them a half point here and there, but
I'm starting to think the odds makers follow them, so because they're so accurate. But in any event, Creighton, they have Creighton at -9 in this game, and I think that line is justified. I really do. I know BYU has a reputation of a very good program in their conference, but this isn't the best BYU team I've seen in a long time. As a matter of fact, it's one of the worst. I mean, right now they're standing at 5-5. BYU's coming off back-to-back losses to South Dakota. And then in the previous game, they lose at home to Utah Valley State by 15, And now they're 1-4 straight up in their last 5 games. Their only win comes in overtime against an overrated Dayton team that's now 5-5. They say overrated because Dayton was so experienced, a ton of experience coming back, and they were in the top 25 in the AP preseason polls. But at 5-5, they haven't lived up to expectations. So my point is, I don't know how much of a quality win that was, and they struggled to get by in that game and win in overtime. Now, usually when you have an underdog, the great equalizer is your ability to hit 3-point shots. Well, there's no equalizer here because BYU only hits 28.4% of their 3-point shots for the season, which is number 324 out of 363 teams, Sean. Terrible.
And normally they're pretty good from downtown. That's kind of like their
right. So I remember the Danny Ainge days. Oh, yeah, show me.
Danny.
Anyway, they're a very good offensive rebounding team, but here's the thing. That's what Creighton limits the most is offensive rebounding on the defensive end of the floor. I hope I didn't confuse you with that statement, but teams playing Creighton are only able to get offensive rebounds on 19.5% of their misses. And that makes Creighton number 4 defensively in that category. So you're not going to get very many second chance opportunities against Creighton, even though BYU is one of the better offensive rebounding teams in the country. And part of that is they don't shoot the ball well.
Exactly.
So Creighton's coming off 3 straight losses themselves. However, 2 of those losses came to Arizona and Texas on the road. Texas went into the week number 2. I think Arizona was top 15 at least.
Yeah, they played some good teams down in that little tournament.
Yeah, I mean, they did get knocked off at home, but it was a rivalry game against Nebraska. I just think Creighton is better on both sides of the ball, Sean. I'm going to lay the 9 here on a neutral floor because the game is being played at Michelob Ultra Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. So I'm going to lay Creighton minus the 9 over BYU, and Sean Higgs, he likes the NC State Wolfpack plus the 5 at Miami. That game goes at 2 Eastern. Mine goes at midnight Eastern. And Sean, I'll let you tell the folks exactly where you want them to find you and how you've been doing specifically so in college basketball.
Yeah, so every day, 7 days a week, midday money, 12 noon Eastern. So you can find it on YouTube. It's on the Picks Parlays Winning Free Pick channel. Same company. It's just more on Winning Free Picks than it is, but you can just find it. And it's going to be actually pretty soon, Ross. I'm going to get on iHeartRadio, and it'll be on iTunes and those channels. You can find the daily podcast there as well. Hopefully this weekend that'll be rolling. So Twitter, Mr. Sean Higgs, if you want to find me there. College hoops on the year, 149 and 123. So not too bad, 55%, $100 better, up 1,400. Not too bad. A lot of games, obviously, and we're winning. We're winning there. NFL's
the NFL, you're killing it too.
Treating us good. NFL, yeah, the NFL's. You talked about, Ross, like basketball, like you're kind of close games and you're getting a bounce or the free throws in. And NFL, that's the way NFL's been for me. It's just been every kind of break you have season. That's where you go from 55% to 56 up to 60, 64, 65%. Yep. And that's any sport. You start getting those breaks and you're like, wow, it's just one of those. You go from good to really super. And I'm great. It's a great year. What am I going to say? I'm just riding it right now. It's like, what can you, I'm ahead of numbers. I got the Lions +3. Now they're a favorite, Tampa Bay was 6 on the opening number. Now it's 3. Obviously, quarterback issue there, but I mean, things whatever. That's a whole nother show, Ross. I kind of, when I get ahead of games, I do it because I think of what's going to happen ahead of time. Like I liked the Saints to win outright on Monday Night Football, and then I figured people would be down on Tampa Bay, and I'd get a better number by betting them early. Well, that didn't. I got a good number because the other guy's on a 3rd-string quarterback. Yeah, but. It was just one of those runs. You know how it is, Ross. You have runs sometimes.
Yeah, and you have games that go against you. I mean, last night, for example, I'm on a nice run, 19-9 in college basketball right now. I started the year 1-4, 19-9 with my last 28. Now I'm over 60% for the year. But perfect example. Last night I had the Duquesne and Marshall game over 151.5. Sean, they had 126 with 3:42 to go in the game. It landed on 153. Sometimes you need a little bit of luck. 27 points in the last 3
minutes.
Listen,
couple 3-pointers.
I knew that was going to happen, right? I had
never in doubt. Never in doubt.
Yeah. So you can find Sean at picksandparleys.net, not .com, .net. And also he just touched upon his mid-morning show. You can get that at Picks and Parleys YouTube page. You can get it right at their homepage every day, noon Eastern time. And you said that show particularly is going on iHeart or another show?
Yeah, no, that's them. Midday Morning will be on the iHeart, and so you can find on whatever, Apple, iTunes, Google Play Store, it'll be there.
Terrific college basketball handicapper and enjoying a terrific year in the NFL. Myself as well, 58% in the NFL on the year, been in the top 10 on all the leaderboards on every site that I've been posting at for the entire season. In college basketball, like alluded to, getting off to a great start. You can find me at rbwins.com. That's rbwins.com. That's my own personal website. If you don't make a profit, with your daily single game or multi-game packages. If you buy it that way, I will credit your account the exact amount of your purchase price. You won't get your money back, but I will credit your account. You could use it any which way you like, whenever, anytime. Also, my NBA, 58%. I believe I said that. So rbwins.com. I'm also at picksandparleys.net along with Sean and a lot of other great handicappers. So either way, folks, I'm good with it. Just purchase the plays and make some money from the both of us. Sean Higgs and Ross Benjamin would like to wish each and every one of you all the very best. Take care and God bless, folks.